Hello and welcome to Cloud is Now. I'm Zahra, your host for today. Singtel Cloud is Now is a free virtual event series that brings cloud experts and business leaders together to share real-world examples of innovative initiatives and discuss how they have successfully tackled some of the biggest challenges and opportunities businesses have encountered. Today is all about Unified Communications 101, what every business needs to know. Let's invite our expert of the day, Brian Pang, a consultant at Microsoft. Could you share with us more about the buzzword? What is Unified Communications?
Definitely. So, Unified Communication, in my opinion, refers to the unification of different collaboration experiences across a device of a choice. So, regardless whether using an iPad, an iPhone, or a Galaxy tablet device, you can actually have that same consistent collaboration, communication experience.
Today we have a lot of business owners watching us. Could you share with us how this can help transform how SMBs work?
Certainly. So with SMBs, it is important that we help them continue to innovate, continue to stay competitive. And I will give you an example of how unified communications, specifically Teams, can be used to actually change or transform the way SMBs service your customers, the way you actually improve productivity with your workforce. For the first example, I want to run through a day in the life of a public event manager. So, a public event manager will definitely need to make a lot of phone calls to traditional fixed lines. You need to make a lot of phone calls to the different agencies so that you can secure your permits. You need approvals, especially in today's post-COVID era. So you can't happily just book a hotel event and then invite people, you get in trouble. You do not want the man in red walking around and then disrupting the flow of an event. So in one example like this, you will notice that this public event organizer will also need to go on site. He or she needs to go on site to actually check out the facilities to make sure that the venue, the ambience, it's up to par, up to the client's expectations. So on the mobile device, you can actually show them the venue and get the client's feedback so you know whether it's up to the requirements, the standards of the client. And next, after getting the client's visual recognition, you will need to bring everybody, the virtual team, into a common space. You need to actually be able to share the floor plan of the venue so that you can interact and get everybody's discussion in decision making. It shortens the time for you to all agree on decisions. Gone are the days whereby it takes about 2 weeks on average for everybody to agree on a set of criteria before making the yes or no. So with unified collaboration, you shorten the experience, and now you can have things like real-time co-authoring of the Word documents, your PowerPoint slides. You can have real-time decision making. That, to me, is the best way to improve productivity for your workforce. Next, I want to talk about a different scenario. I will share with you how a visual inspection scenario, for example, you are an engineer, you need to be dispatched to a location to help your customers with things like checking assessment, checking whether the equipment is faulty, or you do some troubleshooting. But me being a junior engineer, I may not possess all the right experience. I've just joined the company, I just got trained, and this is my first assignment out. In those scenarios, you will need to make sure that you equip your junior engineers, like myself, with all the right skills. And in the event where you are not too sure on what's the best decision, you want to have a remote assistant. Pick up your phone, launch the Teams app, and you can immediately connect to a back-end expert. So you are given the peace of mind and you have the confidence to go out there, get the job done very well. Next, I want to share with you another scenario. I'm going to talk about an example of how we use chatbots. So when we look at chatbots today, it is often a very pre-programmed type of engagement. You ask a question, you get a certain predefined set of answers. However, did you realize when you talk to chatbots, the moment you want to ask a very complex scenario, you will actually need to have somebody taking over the case. You no longer want to have the chat experience, you want to engage with, for example, a service officer, a customer service executive to actually be online, be on call with you, to actually start to understand and help you through the case. So next, I will talk about a last scenario whereby we talk about healthcare. Now, imagine I'm a consumer. I believe you have moments whereby you need to rush to the pharmacy to buy something, and then you realize there's a sign that says, sorry, I'm out for lunch. come back in 20 minutes now. Those are the moments where I felt that frustration. I'm not going to wait there. You are probably going to wait for me to come back another day. So I wish at that moment I can actually have a virtual conference facility. On a click of a button, somebody comes online, I can be sharing my symptoms. For example, I have a skin rash here. I can get them to come in and look at through the camera remotely to tell me what is the best ointment. And with that, they will issue out the prescription and off I go. Right? So it's a very different way of you exposing your capabilities to better service and engage your customers.
So what are the 3 benefits of unified communications?
The very first benefit will be what we call a single number reach. With this capability, you will have the assurance that the phone number that is given to you for your work purposes, when a client contacts you, he or she can contact you through this phone number across your mobile phones, across your tablets, across your laptops. So you no longer need to give away or disclose your personal mobile phone number. And for confidentiality reasons, right, for privacy reasons, a lot of customers actually find this to be one of the number 1 reasons why they find UC to be very, very useful. So it protects your privacy and you don't need to disclose that, yet you are always contactable. Right? You will choose what is the number you want to route to, how or what time you can route the calls to yourself, and that would be one good example. The second point that I want to share with you would be, on the weekends, I'm sure you do not want to be called unnecessarily. So we do have a feature called Auto Attendant. With this capability, we can define when are the operating hours that you can call me. Right? If you call the same number during the work hours, I'll be there to answer the phone. I'll be there to help you. However, if you call me off during my off-shift hours, during the non-working hours, what's going to happen is you can control. Will the call be routed to a set of options? Press option 1, we'll call you back. Press option 2, your call is important, we will help you quickly. So with this capability, it gives your employees a peace of mind. So everybody that works for you will now be given the assurance that they will not get surprise calls from clients, right? And clients, when needed, they can actually be routed to alternative destination for better people, for other people to help them. The third benefit actually helps more of IT, because IT now is much more simplified, it's much easier to maintain, it's actually also much cheaper to run. I'll give you a case in point. Today, with a particular brand of communication devices, you need to procure the handsets, you need to procure all the accessories, all from the particular brand. With Microsoft Teams, you have a choice of different vendors, right? You can buy from brand A, buy from brand B for your headsets, buy from brand C for those touch devices, and that you can mix and match so that different users with different requirements can get the appropriate device, and you can fit that all into your budget. So it's a very good platform to actually help you achieve your budget optimization. And we have many success stories of how customers are able to benefit from this.
We all have 24 hours in a day. How can we make this more productive? Do you have tips and tricks we didn't know about unified communication?
Now, allow me to share with you what are some of the top features. The first one would be the importance of using recording. So don't underestimate the importance of this. For me, in my role, I do a lot of briefing, I do a lot of technical updates, or I teach my clients, I teach my partners, right? So whenever we have the chance, I will always insist on having this recorded. And of course, in the course of doing that, I will always share to make sure that all the attendees on the call, they will be notified. So with recordings, it allows you to actually do it once, and then you can play back and you can actually help many others that missed those calls. Or you can, over time, collect a library of recordings so that when it comes to technical enablement, it allows you to very quickly present the learning options to your customers, to your engineers on demand. So this is one of my favorite features. The next thing that I want to talk about would be what I call an attendee list. So for me, I get up to 100 briefings in a month. So sometimes it's not possible for me to remember who attended which of my classes. So with this attendee list feature, I can actually download and I will get a list of who came at what time, did they always come late, are they punctual, who stayed with me throughout my whole 2-hour seminar. So those sessions can actually be captured in an Excel file and downloaded at your request. Now, I'm going to share with you a third important part, and this is something not many people know, and I'm not sure whether you've heard of this. It's called transcription. So with transcription services, it performs behind the scene artificial intelligence activity. It will take my speech that I'm sharing as I educate, as I share. It will do a real-time speech-to-text conversion, and this can actually be captured, and it allows you to now start to do a text search. Imagine if you have a 2-hour recording, a 2-hour webinar, it's going to take a long while before your users can actually scroll through, navigate through, jump to the right pointer, 7 minutes, 52 seconds. That's where I mentioned this particular capability. Now with transcription services, you have a means of doing a text search around the content that you have actually created. So this is, to me and my students, a very, very important feature that I want to encourage all of you to think about. I was conducting a large presentation, a large webinar, and there's a few hundred attendees coming in across a few countries. And because of my carelessness, I actually forgot to set 2 options on the wait at lobby option. And the second would be the option to actually disable the mics of all the attendees. In large meetings, right, it can be very distracting, especially if people keep coming in late to your meetings. You got to go and get the click so they accept them to the course. And the next thing is, many times, right, during a call, you may have people joining your meeting and they forgot to turn off the mic. I think most of you will be agreeing with me, right? It's extremely distracting. So I do want to share these 2 as a best practice for all of you.
Do you have any last advice for our viewers today?
Oh, sure. I think it's very important when you're choosing a unified collaboration vendor, go for someone that is recognized as a market leader. So I'm very proud and happy to share with you, in this year's Gartner Magic Quadrant, we have been recognized once again as the leader among the leaders, right? So those of you that is interested, do check out the report. I think it's available for your own reading. And lastly, please do contact your Singtel representative, because I'm very confident they will possess the right experience, they possess the right skill sets to actually help you turn on this service, and immediately you guys can enjoy the benefits of what Teams can do for you.
Thank you, Brian, for that insightful sharing. It was wonderful. As remote work continues to be a norm, staying connected with employees and customers anytime and anywhere have become important consideration for businesses. You can now make and receive fixed line calls on Microsoft Teams with Teams UC Direct Connect. This powerful communication tool enables you to make or receive calls with your office number using the Microsoft Teams app on your mobile phone or tablet without the need for additional hardware. At $12.84 per user per month, you can enjoy Teams UC Direct Connect with a waiver of one-time charge. Now you can enjoy unlimited incoming and outgoing local calls too. If you are interested, you may approach your account manager or chat with us on WhatsApp. Do scan the QR code here to share your feedback on today's episode. We'd love to hear from you. Catch our other episodes on cybersecurity and productivity. Don't miss it. Till next time, I'm Zahra. Thank you for joining Cloud is Now. Bye!